If you've been in fantasy reading circles at any time in the last 10 or so years, you'll undoubtedly have come across mentions of the Cosmere at some point. The Cosmere is something that was once seen as this quirky idea done by a new author in the fantasy scene, but which has now become one of the largest shared universes within the genre, often compared to the MCU in what it means for the genre as a whole. So in this video, I intend to briefly explain just what the Cosmere is and what exactly the extent is of this thing Sanderson has created. So whether you're completely new to the Cosmere, have already dabbled in it a bit, or are an old hand at anything and everything Cosmere related, I hope you find some enjoyment and enlightenment in this short video describing it all. What is the Cosmere? The Cosmere is the shared universe between most of the books written by fantasy author Brandon Sanderson. As I explained before, it can almost be seen as the MCU of fantasy, in that each Cosmere book is its own self-contained story, but they're all within the same universe and share some common universal laws. Each book in the Cosmere is set on a planet within this universe, and each planet has its own quirks and magics associated with it. While most of the characters within these stories and worlds are generally locked to the worlds they're a part of, Brandon Sanderson has begun slowly integrating crossovers between books for the true fans of these series to enjoy. Imagine the feeling you had the first time the Avengers all came together in one movie. That is the same experience Cosmere fans are slowly having as more and more crossovers and Easter eggs are being uncovered in the newest books. But the fascinating thing about the Cosmere is not just that it exists, but also how it came to exist. The Shattering. Please note that a lot of what I may talk about here isn't exactly described within the pages of the books, but rather it is information released by Brandon for us fans to make sense of the universe before he's had the chance to write the necessary books that describe these. So while what I'm about to talk about is from Brandon Sanderson, he doesn't consider anything canon unless it's been in a published Cosmere book, and thus it is completely subject to change should he decide the need for it. But as of right now, we'll use the information available to us. So let's get to the explanation, shall we? Many thousands of years ago, before any of the events in any of the Cosmere books take place, there was a planet named Yolin. Yolin is one of the oldest planets in the Cosmere, and is the planet that all humans within the Cosmere originate from. Yolin is also the homeworld of Adonalsium, the creator entity of the Cosmere itself. Adonalsium is basically the god of all creation within this universe, and is considered this vast and powerful force that shaped everything into the way it is today. At some point in the distant past, a group of Yolish people came together and destroyed this god entity called Adonalsium. They could not undo it completely, but rather shattered Adonalsium into 16 shards. Each of these shards hold an aspect and portion of power from Adonalsium itself. Those that killed the god then took these shards upon themselves and each became gods in their own right. These people, now just called shards, each went off to different worlds within the Cosmere where they directly influenced these worlds and the magic within them. The worlds of the Cosmere. One of the most well-known worlds of the Cosmere would be the world of Scadrial. This is the world upon which the Mistborn series takes place. Scadrial is home to the shards of ruin and preservation. Another very well-known world in the Cosmere is Roshar. Roshar is where the Stormlight Archive takes place and is home to the shards of honor and cultivation. Another planet in the Rosharan system, named Braze, holds the shard of Odium. The next planet is Nalthis. Nalthis is the planet on which the novel Warbreaker takes place and is home to the shard of Endowment. Sel is the world of Elantris. Elantris was the first Cosmere-related novel published by Brandon Sanderson, and thus is one of the oldest shard worlds known to the fans. Like some others, Sel is di-shardic, meaning it has two shards. The shards of Devotion and Dominion reside on this planet. White Sand is a graphic novel series by Brandon Sanderson and is the only Cosmere book to be in such a visual format. The world of White Sand is Taldane. Taldane houses only a single shard, and that would be the Shard of Autonomy. And finally we have the world of Threnody, which only makes an appearance in Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell, a Cosmere novella. While Threnody doesn't have an active shard, we do know the Shard of Ambition was briefly there and affected the world. However, Ambition has since been killed and is no longer associated with the planet. There are quite a few other worlds we aren't yet aware of, along with shards we aren't yet familiar with. So far this list is all we really know of at this point. We've had mention of a number of other shards, but these have only been mentioned in passing and we have no information other than their names. For now, however, they aren't that important to know about. Investiture. All magic within the Cosmere is called investiture. While the different magical systems within the different planets might be called something different and unique, all magical energy is, at its core, investiture. Investiture is almost like the raw power of magic itself and interacts with the world in unique ways. On Scadrial, investiture takes the form of the 3 metallic arts. On Roshar, it takes the form of Stormlight. Different shards will interact and warp investiture in different ways, and when a shard becomes invested with a planet, they will not only be bound to the planet itself, but will also directly influence and change the magic system and how it works on that planet. If you decide to read up on the Cosmere at any point, investiture will become a very important term to familiarize yourself with. And if you've read the Stormlight Archive, investiture becomes a major aspect of the story, and how investiture is dealt with and how one form of it interacts with other forms of investiture. But like I said, I wanted to keep this brief and I've rambled on for far too long. I hope this primer and brief overview on the Cosmere and its mechanics has been of help to some of you who are just getting into this amazing shared universe. If any of it went above your head, don't worry about it. The story of the Cosmere isn't something you just swallow in a single video. It's a story you'll gradually come to know over time as you delve into it more and more and read more of the Cosmere books. This short video was just meant to give you a very basic understanding of what the Cosmere is and how it works on a basic and fundamental level. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I upload 3 videos a week and I encourage you to stick around and give my other videos a try. I will actually be uploading a lot more on the Cosmere, and I will also be starting a series of which this is the first video explaining different aspects of the Cosmere. So if you wanted to get a better understanding of how the Cosmere works and the different mechanics within it, stay tuned because we'll be delving deeply into a lot of its aspects in the coming weeks and months ahead. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd like to thank you all for watching. But that's been it for now. I really appreciate your time. This has been Raven and I will see you next time. Take care everyone.